Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Wednesday, August 21st, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. The sun became active today once again, an M5.1 solar flare around AR 3796. Doesn't appear to be a CME associated with it, meaning nothing is headed our way. We also have a cold front headed to the West Coast. Record cold happening in just a few days west of the Continental Divide. Can you believe that? Shut up, Al! Get in your hole! Snow in the forecast. Keep calm. It's boom time. Billings, Montana area, a break from severe storms is ahead, but not tonight. More strong to severe storms are possible through the late evening hours on Wednesday, with gusty winds up to 75 miles per hour and 1-inch hail are primary threats, with heavy rain a fringe concern. Heads up, Montana. Western Alaska heads up as well. Alaska villages brace for more severe weather after flooding. Take a look at some of this erosion. And there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the Tucson area. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8:21 at 5 p.m. for Cochise and Grantham counties. And it looks like most of that weather is moving away. Hey. Dangerous heat persists in the southern U.S. Fire weather concerns in the west. A dangerous heat wave will persist across the southern plains and Gulf Coast through much of the week, as record lows could hit the east as well as west coast at the same time. Grand solar minimum much. High temperatures are expected to climb into the triple digits with numerous new records in the hot and in the cold. Elevated to critical fire weather conditions are forecast over the Great Basin and intermontane west due to dry air, dry thunderstorms, and strong winds. So heed the warnings and click on your county for more information. As we jump over to the thermodynamics here to show you that record cold for August 25th, it's going to start trickling down now. Here we are today, and by the 22nd, look at these numbers. Here's the 22nd. There will be regions from Washington State all the way down to Southern California. Let me just shrink my mug down here. That are going to be in the purple, 12 degrees to 16 degrees below normal. And as the days progress, that is going to go down to 20 to 30 degrees below normal by August 24th. In fact, there's some snow in the forecast as well. Take a look at the pattern persists through the 25th with extreme cold temperatures for Washington State, Idaho, and western Montana. And it's not going anywhere. Here's the 25th. And it looks like it will ease up after that. So it's going to be a 4-day cold blast for the West. And then by the beginning of September, it's the Central Plains that get cold. Take a look at that. The center of the U.S. well below normal for the beginning of September. A September to remember. Holy macaroni. Let's take a look. There's that severe weather threat down in Tucson. In the next 3 hours should widen out into some light rain down in that region, but the severe weather threat ends. Looks like tonight we could see a pop-up here in Nebraska, potentially Kansas, but that will be short-lived. As you can see, the Four Corners getting some nice monsoonal activity over the next few days. Let's take a look at the total snowfall, shall we? Holy macaroni. It looks like we're frozen up. Yeah, there is snow in the forecast. Let's move this through. It looks like August 24th, 25th, 26th, into August 30th, we could be seeing snow returning to the pattern in the middle of summer. That's not a bummer, just a sign of the times. Seismic update. No quakes of note. Some aftershocks on the Kamchatka to the 5 magnitude could spurn some renewed activity there from Shivalush. Activity continues in Hawaii as we are waiting for an eruption to occur at Kilauea anytime now, as well as Iceland. But there has been no seismic activity on the Reykjanes Peninsula, but in fact, a glacial flood has started in the Skafla River. And these Joculips, or glacial outburst floods, occur when there is activity below a glacier from a volcano, heating the glacier and melting giant voids of water, which then push their way out to the ocean. Just the beginning of this outburst flood, and it'll take a day or so before we know the magnitude of the event. Now, what these glacial outburst floods do is they release pressure on volcanoes like Grimsvötn and Katla, and result in large eruptions. We've been predicting now for 3 years that due to the activity on the Reykjanes Peninsula, another large eruption on Iceland will occur based on historic data. And we mean VEI 3 or greater and one of the bigger volcanic systems. So, could this be it? Stay tuned for the channel to know more. And here is the rest of the worldwide volcano news update. Salmankaya to 23,000 feet. Popo puffing and passing into 19,000 foot today. Merapi on the list for 14,000. Fuego to 16. White Island continues its ash and puffing dance with the 4,000 foot blast earlier today. Salmankaya to 22. Nevada de Ruiz, 19,000 foot puff. Take a look at this. Intermittent Vulcanian type explosions continuing at Merapi. Can you imagine living in some of these houses? It's got to be terrifying. Santo Guito to 14,000 foot today. Shivalush puffing and passing. Merapi to 14,000. Fuego to 15. Sakonojima. Take a look at that explosion. Yes, strong eruptions continue to go on at Sakonojima. Imagine living in this apartment. Holy macaroni. White Island to 4,000 feet. Salmankaya to 22,000 feet. Shivalush. Volcanic ash issued. Maybe some lingering effects there. We've got Semaru to 15,000 feet. Sangay to 19,000. Liwatobi to 10. Swanosima, 7,000 foot puff. Merapi, a 14,000 foot blast. Dukono to 8. And that wraps up worldwide volcano news for the 21st. A quick look at space weather news for August 21st. You can see the day is over. We're now into the 22nd. But towards the end of the day, we had an impulsive M5.1 solar flare. This event does not appear to be eruptive. Additional M flares may remain possible, as we could see some small spikes in activity, but nothing really happening on the sun as far as major activity in solar storms. The 3-day geomagnetic forecast is all calm. And there we can see the M5.1 solar flare blasting off just a few hours ago. New research shows unprecedented atmospheric changes during May's geomagnetic superstorm. What could the anomalies in temperature, composition, location, and spread of particles mean for satellites and GPS? Well, had it been any stronger, we'd all be fucked. Totally. Yeah. The grid would fly, satellites would fail. Yeah. All of the deliveries would stop, and then there would be global unrest in just a few days. Here's the paper coming out. Gold observations of the merging of the southern crest of the equatorial ionization anomaly and aurora during the 10 and 11 May 2024 Mother's Day super geomagnetic storm. That is a mouthful. Using NASA's global scale observation of the limb and disk gold imager, they report night-side ionospheric changes during a G5 super geomagnetic storm of the 10th and the 11th. The night side of the southern crest of the equatorial ionization anomaly, or EIA, was observed to merge with the aurora near the southern tip of South America. Holy macaroni. What does that even mean? Well, scientists are baffled. The northern lights are caused by energetic charged particles hitting our upper atmosphere, which are implicated by numerous factors in space, including the sun. During solar geomagnetic storms, there's a lot more of these particles in space around Earth, so we see a brightening of the northern lights, and the region over which you can see them spreads out to include places in the lower 48 states that usually do not see this display. So there was unpredictable movement of low-energy charged particles from around the equator towards the aurora, which is expected in a superstorm. Charged particles can be divided into two buckets, low energy and high energy, the latter of which can hurt humans working in space, damage electronics, and even hurt humans on Earth if it's a strong enough storm. So I don't know what to talk about here. But as the aurora intensifies, you see more lights, but along with that, there's more energy entering the atmosphere. So it makes the atmosphere near the poles very hot, and that's in fact what happened here, and this is the anomaly they're talking about. It starts to push away air from the poles towards the equator, and that's cold air. According to the experts, the data poses a lot of questions like, did something really different happen during this geomagnetic storm that has happened previously, or do we just have better instruments to measure the changes? Leave your comments below, as all of the links to all of the articles and papers will be below as well. An unusual object is moving so fast it could escape the Milky Way. Holy macaroni. Scientists aren't certain what it actually is. They claim that it's a low-mass star that was sent on a speedy trajectory. How speedy, you ask? Likely this faint red star zooms along at a speed of 1.3 million miles per hour. Phew, that is blazing fast. Now, it also appears to be cloaked in a plasma sheath, not unlike the one purported by the Thunderbolts Project and the Primordial Star. Holy macaroni. Please leave a comment below if this is something that interests you. Now, this, whatever it is, that's moving at 1.3 million miles per hour, let's give you a comparison here. In comparison, the sun orbits around the Milky Way at about 450,000 miles per hour. So it's not that fast. It's just about 2.5 times faster than our galaxy moving in the Milky Way, but fast enough with escape velocity to get out of Dodge and to leave the Milky Way anyway. And that's the story. I'm sticking with it. Have you seen this? The Atlantic is cooling at a mysteriously fast rate after fear-mongering about record warmth and the fact that the Atlantic hurricane season is embarrassingly pathetic after they predicted like 26 named storms, 7 major hurricanes making landfall. Yeah, none of that's happened. In fact, the Atlantic is cooling so rapidly, the hurricane season might be coming to a close. And that means we're dropping so fast and so quickly into La Nina. It is, in fact, the largest and fastest drop since records been recorded of this cycle. This is unprecedented. Going from like super El Nino and record high temperatures to super La Nina, all within a matter of months. A swing like this has never been seen before, which is kicking off those low temperatures in the West Coast. The end of the Atlantic hurricane season. I'm sure we're going to see some more hurricanes, especially Gulf hurricanes, as we move towards September. But nothing like they claimed it was, because it's all fear porn and all fear mongering. Marc Morano and I got that in great detail today, which it very well may be one of the greatest podcasts ever recorded about what's happening on Earth right now, as far as climate, politics, and insanity. So we are now in La Nina, folks. Buckle up. It's going to be a snowy season for some. Take a look at this. $125 million sustainable wooden building is completely destroyed in growing black mold. This is the Gaia building in Nanyang Technological University. Yeah, you guessed it, in China. Everything happens in China. This is Asia's largest wooden building and is made almost entirely from mass timber. The whole idea is to sequester carbon in the building. These people are completely insane. You sequester the carbon until it lights on fire or Moldy eats it, apparently. Now, the building which houses the Nanyang Business School is NTU's 8th zero-energy building and the first one to completely be covered in black mold. Because the humidity is too high for wooden structures like this to exist. Apparently, they didn't do their homework. But the Green New Deal and the Green Agenda is not about doing your homework. It's about bankrupting the earth, and making you all comply with central bank digital currencies, no jobs, owning nothing, and eating the bugs. And that's what I talked about today with Marc Morano in the most amazing podcast in the shortest period of time. In just about 40 minutes, Marc covers every single topic pertinent to our life as humans on Earth, the corruption at the deepest levels. This guy has been everywhere. He's a very smart man, and he's an ally. And we're going to put the show up Friday night after our normal update. So make sure you go check that out. We're going to upload the show tomorrow, so you'll have plenty of time to get a notification and to make sure to watch that show. Marc Morano, in fact, is the executive director and chief correspondent for climatedepot.com. So if you don't know that, go over there and check him out. Marc Morano at Climate Depot on Twitter and climatedepot.com on the interwebs. And one other thing we want to share with you before we leave tonight is Whitney Webb's One Nation Under Blackmail, Volume 1 and 2 for free. Whitney Webb has come under attack because she's been doing some interviews and exposing the corruption with the deep state and the globalists. And this is the book that tells it all. Volume 1 and 2, it's over 1,000 pages. And we're going to share it with you for free. Thank you, Whitney Webb, for supplying this to us and for our listeners. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. We're trying to get the message out. We're trying to save the world. But the brainwashed masses are certainly not helping. We've got to break through one woke-tard at a time. Smash the thumbs up. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole and be safe. We love you.